All right, so the LILJ is here with Sophia Novelli in the class of 2026 of St. Anthony's and the Jesters Black team. Sophia, how are we doing here this afternoon?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing great. First, just want to thank you for taking some time here to do this interview with me this afternoon. Just kind of talk about your summer and your recruiting and things like that. And just want to thank you first and foremost for taking some time to join me here today.
Of course. Thank you.
Of course, absolutely. So, I just want to talk to the people just a little bit about you, Sophia. Of course, you're from St. Anthony's, a defender, one of the top defenders on the island, in our opinion, one of the top defenders really in the country, to be honest. So, it's really great to have you on here this afternoon. But
Thank you.
just want to talk about you and really first going back before we get into like the recruiting and all that, just about the high school season that you had this past spring for St. Anthony's. You were part of a team that was #1 in the nation, going undefeated, and you definitely played a big role on defense in the Friars, having such an elite defensive unit. But first, just kind of talk about your successes that you had going back to the high school spring season, being part of such a historic team.
Yeah, definitely a huge part of that was my teammates around me. Like, I've never played with better people in my life, and my coaching staff that definitely shaped me into a better player. Definitely helped me improve.
Yeah, well, it was really great, like getting a chance to watch you throughout the spring. And one thing that I also kind of just want to share that I don't know if you know this, to be honest, but the first time that I got a chance to see you play was actually 2 summers ago. So this is the summer of 2022. This was at the Excelsior games. Before the Excelsior games were actually even rebranded. It was the New York State event at the time, and I remember watching you play up at SUNY Albany, and I was sitting on the sidelines just under the tent, and I remember watching you, and you were doing everything. You were taking draws, then running back to the sideline, switching sticks, going on defense, and really just doing it all, giving it your full-fledged effort, really just putting forth a phenomenal effort. And that was the first time I got to watch you play, and I just remember saying to myself, like, "Wow, like who's this girl? Like she's just unbelievable, just killing it. It's like 95, 100 degrees, and you're doing everything, just really working your ass off. And that was the first time I got to see you, and of course, getting a chance to cover you over the last couple years and continuing to do so while you're still in high school. Just kind of wanted to share that. Like that was the first time I got to see you, and you
Yeah,
really
one thing about me is I won't lose without a fight. So I definitely left that all out on the field there. That's so funny, though.
Yeah, no, you were definitely showing it for sure 2 years ago. So that's something that just absolutely stands out. And anytime I think of you, or anytime I'm watching you play, but now just kind of like going into like recruiting and all that, just kind of talking first and foremost just about your summer and how that went, because of course I'm sure it's got to be crazy doing a bunch of showcases, tournaments, things like that. So just kind of overall, how do you feel that you played throughout the summer at the different events that you attended?
I felt like my summer went really well, actually. I met so many new players, and I also worked with a bunch of different new coaches, which definitely helped me improve as a player and as a person. So, yeah.
You know, it's interesting talking about like working with new coaches and things like that. What was that like for you? Because I'm sure it's got to be just like getting a different perspective from playing for your coaches, of course, like throughout club and high school. So what was that like for you?
So, definitely getting like new coaches and stuff and playing with them under them, it like teaches you a whole new perspective of the game, kind of. Like, I've always been coached by my same coaches my entire life. And then entering like the showcases and that stuff, I was coached by a bunch of different new coaches and even college coaches that really did teach you a lot. So I think that definitely like really brings it like to a different level of your IQ and stuff and helps you improve.
Yeah, I think that's definitely an interesting perspective, and it's got to be cool, like just getting a chance to kind of have different voices in your ear and kind of learn new things about the game, learn from different voices as opposed to your coaches for club and for high school. So I'm sure that's got to be a good perspective for sure. And just getting a chance to like cover you throughout the summer. Of course, like I got to cover you at Juniors Open and the Excelsior games as well. But talk about like the events that you attended in addition to those, both like on the club circuit and individually.
Okay, yeah. So I attended 4 tournaments with my Jesters team: Blacks for the Cure, Maryland Cup, Live Love Blacks, and Summer Genesis. And then I also went to Juniors Open, Excelsior Games, American Select, Best in Class, and the USA Combine. And then as far as like camps, I would say I definitely did break it up because my summer was a lot, like, it was crazy. So I didn't want to overdo it or burn myself out. So throughout my entire recruiting year, I definitely went to a lot of camps and visited as many schools as I could.
Nice, nice. Now, at like each camp and tournament and like showcase as well, just like were there any maybe expectations that you kind of set for yourself going in as to like how you had hoped to play or really just like overall for the entirety of the summer? Like were there any expectations that you had set for yourself, and if so, do you feel that you met those expectations?
This summer I would say I really wanted to have fun with the whole process and enjoy it. After dealing with my foot injury last summer, I wanted my main goal was to remain healthy and balancing all of lacrosse because it can be a lot. I think the biggest thing is not getting burnt out because then you won't be competing at your best in front of these coaches. I would say I met those expectations, and even when I got a little stressed out at times and still do, I just have to remember the love I do have for the sport and the people around me. And my parents definitely did help me with that.
That's great. That's great. Now, it's interesting like talking about not getting like burnt out and things like that because I'm sure like when like players are going through that recruiting process, I'm sure like it may be in the back of their mind that they have to attend like as many things as possible to be seen like as often as possible by college coaches. But like how do you feel like you were just able to kind of juggle that? Like making sure you went to enough showcases and tournaments, but not like overdoing it.
I definitely really I felt like you have to love the game to be doing all of that. And I just kept taking it day by day and not thinking, oh my God, I have something next week, I have something the other day. Like, if you take it literally day by day and like, I love playing lacrosse, I have so much fun doing it. Like, you have to remind yourself that's why you're here. And it literally all falls into place. Like, I felt like I didn't get that burnt out at all this summer. I could go play again right now because I'm kind of in my break right now. But I think you don't have to attend everything. Definitely balance it out because you also want to be a kid too in the summer.
Nice, nice. Now, when it comes to like schools and whatnot, like obviously we don't have to get into like specifics of like your interests and all that, but just in terms of like maybe the list of schools that you were considering prior to the summer and now that the summer lacrosse season has come to an end, like what's your list kind of looking like? Has it gotten bigger? Has it gotten smaller? Just like kind of talk a little bit about the list of schools that you might be interested in terms of the number.
I would say my list has not become smaller or bigger, but it has definitely changed. Like, it completely changed. And that's why it's so important to be open during the entire process. I think because it literally, like, I would have not put some of the schools I have on it right now. So,
Nice. Were there like any specific reasons, like just getting a chance to like speak with different people as to like why maybe your list has changed, like from pre-summer to post-summer?
I think it's off of interest levels of schools. And then even when like you're with a coach or like you're at a showcase or a tournament and you meet them or something, I think that can definitely change your list too.
Nice, nice. Now, when it comes to like next month and like getting a chance to kind of like visit the schools that you have an interest level in, like what are some of the things that you're going to kind of be looking for when it comes to visiting schools, like key factors that you'll be looking to hopefully see that would make it interesting for you to possibly commit?
When it comes to visiting schools, one of my biggest things is definitely looking for academics for me. I have to make sure the degree I'm going to get will help me in my future after lacrosse. I also will be looking at coaching staff, the team culture, and the campus.
Nice. Do you know what you want to major in from an academic standpoint?
Yeah, right now I really want to look into business and like economics. That's kind of what I'm trying to go for.
Nice. Now, just kind of like wrapping it up here, of course, you're going to be hearing from a ton of coaches starting next month, and really just in terms of like maybe a time frame for when you're hoping to make that commitment. Like I'm sure some players they may see it as like a weight that's lifted off their shoulders, like once they finally make that commitment. But like, just how are you going to go about your timeline when it comes to like your process to making that commitment? Like any idea as to when you'd like to have that commitment by, or are you just kind of just going to take it day by day?
I don't think I have a specific timeline to commit. If I'm lucky enough to receive an offer to college, I will carefully consider each of those offers to determine which school is the best fit athletically and academically. This decision will definitely determine my next 4 years, so I want to make it careful. I want to make it a careful decision.
Yeah, of course.
Everyone's journey is going to be different, so I guess when it feels right, I don't really have a specific like 1 week, two. It could be like a month. It could be
Yeah.
2 days. Like
No,
I
no,
guess it'll really depend.
I totally get that. Like I feel like some people like they commit right away because they may have like that one school that they want to go to and the interest is mutual and it's like okay that commitment comes right away. Others it takes a little more time. Of course, like everyone's process is different, so I definitely totally understand where you're coming from because that's a life it's a life changing decision.
Yeah.
Like that's where you're picking your home for the next 4 years. So I totally get it. But so if I just want to thank you again for taking the time to join me here this afternoon. And
Thank you.
it's been great speaking with you and a chance to cover you throughout the summer and again going back to the high school season and at so many different events. And I'm really looking forward to seeing ultimately where you decide to commit to it in the future. Because
Thank
it's
you.
a
I'm
huge deal,
excited.
and I know how hard you've been working.
All right. Thank
So
you.
so thanks a lot.